There are moments when a presence begins to take space inside you without effort. You don't force it, yet it returns. You stay busy, yet the feeling continues quietly in the background. In such moments, it is rarely only one-sided. On the other side, too, certain inner processes begin to move slowly, without names, without clarity. 1. Their emotional guard is slowly weakening. On their side, a soft internal shift is happening. Outwardly, they may look stable, controlled, or emotionally distant. But inside, their protective emotional layers are loosening. People who guard their emotions don't suddenly open up. They soften gradually. Small things begin to affect them more deeply. Certain conversations stay in their mind longer. Certain silences start to feel heavier than before. They may not connect this change to you, but their inner emotional system is opening. Emotional openness rarely appears without a deeper reason. 2. You are activating emotions they never fully resolved. Sometimes someone enters another person's emotional field not to create something new, but to touch something unfinished. On their side, your presence may be awakening feelings they never fully processed. It could be the feeling of comfort, emotional safety, or closeness that once existed but was never understood. Because of this, they may feel nostalgic without a memory, or a quiet heaviness without sadness. They may start reflecting more, pausing more, without knowing why. When emotions rise again, it's usually because something familiar has activated them. 3. Their mind is forming emotional familiarity with you. Attachment does not always begin with desire. Often, it begins with familiarity. On their side, your presence is slowly becoming emotionally comfortable. They may imagine conversations without noticing it. They may feel calm when your thought passes through their mind. This is not excitement or urgency, it is ease. And ease is never accidental. When someone's mind accepts another person without resistance, emotional permission is quietly forming. 4. Their emotional timing is shifting. People struggle to connect when their inner world feels overloaded. On their side, even if nothing changes externally, their emotional timing may be shifting. They may feel less satisfied with surface-level interactions and less drawn to distraction. Depth begins to matter more. When emotional rhythms start aligning, the feeling appears before understanding. You may sense this alignment even before they do. 5. They are feeling you emotionally, not mentally. Not every connection begins in thought. Sometimes on their side, there is only a feeling without a label. Sudden calm, quiet introspection, or emotional warmth without a clear reason. They may not connect these sensations to you consciously, but their emotional system is responding to familiarity. Emotional sensing does not need awareness to be real. 6. Their resistance is slowly losing strength. When a feeling feels unfamiliar or risky, resistance often appears first. On their side, they may stay busy, rely on logic, or convince themselves they don't need anything more. But resistance is rarely the absence of feeling. It is often the presence of fear. Inside, they may be negotiating between allowing the feeling and avoiding it. And negotiation only happens when something matters. 7. The connection is developing without needing action yet. Not every connection needs immediate expression. On their side, what is unfolding may not be action, but depth. They may be holding your energy more gently now, with more awareness. Emotional bonds often mature quietly, without noise or declarations. Nothing may happen yet. No words, no movement. But something inside is becoming real. 8. They are becoming more emotionally aware of what they truly want. On their side, a quiet clarity is slowly forming. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but gently. They may begin noticing what no longer satisfies them emotionally. Situations that once felt enough start feeling incomplete. Conversations that stay on the surface begin to feel tiring. This awareness is not about chasing something new, but about recognizing what feels real. When emotional awareness grows, it often means the heart is preparing itself for something deeper. They may not link this shift to you, yet your presence has quietly influenced how they now understand their own emotional needs. 9. They feel a sense of familiarity that doesn't need explanation. There is a strange comfort growing inside them. Not excitement, not obsession, but recognition. It feels natural, almost calm. They don't need to analyze it or explain it to themselves. Some connections don't arrive with questions, they arrive with ease. This familiarity makes your energy feel safe rather than intense. And when someone feels safe emotionally, their mind relaxes. They stop resisting the feeling and start accepting it as something normal. Familiarity like this often forms when two emotional patterns quietly align. 10. They are unconsciously comparing emotional depth. Without realizing it, they may start noticing differences in how certain interactions feel. Some connections feel loud but empty. Others feel present but shallow. And then there is a quiet contrast, something deeper that lingers even in silence. This comparison is not intentional. It happens naturally when someone has experienced emotional resonance. Once the mind senses depth, it becomes difficult to ignore it. They may not think of you directly, but the standard for emotional connection has already changed inside them. 11. They are allowing the feeling to exist without control. At some point, they stop trying to manage the feeling. They no longer push it away, nor try to define it. They simply allow it to exist. This stage is subtle but powerful. When a person gives a feeling space without fear, without pressure, it begins to settle into honesty. There is no rush to act, no need to label, just acceptance. And acceptance is often the quiet beginning of something meaningful. Something that grows naturally without force. Sometimes silence is not absence, distance is not disconnection, and repetition is not coincidence. Some connections remain quiet until both sides are ready to understand them. And if this feeling continues to return to you, it may not be asking for answers yet, only time, patience, and awareness.